Greetings, everybody. My name is Kaya Butelezi. Welcome to another episode of the Money Capital Podcast, where we discuss matters of importance on the economy of South Africa, where we discuss matters in the political economy of South Africa. Today, we are discussing a very important topic. I'm saying this topic is important because of many reasons. The context is informed by what is currently happening in our country in terms of the transformation, the economic transformation debate. We meet at a juncture when, for instance, the Democratic Alliance has issued a 6-point plan to scrap economic transformation, to scrap Black economic empowerment in South Africa. My guest today is Mr. Kganki Matabane. He is the Chief Executive Officer of the Black Business Council, which is a representative body of all Black business associations in South Africa. Good morning, Mr. Matabane, and welcome to the Money Capital Podcast.
Good morning, Kaya, and thank you very much for having us.
Great stuff. Thanks for making the time to join us as we delve into these matters, which I consider absolutely significant for our country, which I consider absolutely fundamental. If you look at where we are in terms of our democracy, 30 years later, the Democratic Alliance has the audacity to issue a 6-point plan to scrap Black economic empowerment. Where are they getting all of this power?
Yeah, Kaya, the economic struggle is not the easiest struggle. I think it's the most difficult struggle because there's no like a defined battlefield. Basically, battlefield is everywhere, and you're not going to be carrying guns and going to fight. Sometimes it's very subtle, sometimes it's on your face, but the whole thing comes to economic power. It's actually 31 years. It's not 30 years.
Yes. Thanks for that already. Yes.
And if you don't own anything, you won't have power to do anything. To give you an example, if you own your own spaza shop, if the employees there are stealing or they don't respect this, they don't respect and follow the processes, you check them out because you own the system.
Mm-hmm.
The corporate South Africa is the same. The white people own the system. So when you are a Black person, you go to any company, they almost put you on your place. I always give an example that it's like you, Kaya, inviting someone to your house, and then you leave them watching TV, you leave them there, and you don't expect to meet them in the children's bedroom or somewhere else in the house. If you meet them somewhere, you're going to check them out.
Yes.
It's exactly the same economic system. Up and until we own the system, we're forever going to be basically be treated like this. And then for us, I think we should not blame the DA. The DA is protecting his constituents.
Yes.
We should not blame the Solidarities and Afri Forums. They are protecting their own constituencies. We should blame ourselves as Black people because they are doing all these things because we are not united. If we were united, all these things would never have happened. But they know we're so divided that anything goes.
But we have political power. What are we doing with that political power? 31 years later, we are still having a discussion about the fact that we do not have the means of production of this economy. Surely something is not right somewhere. Where, yes, I understand if you say that we are not united as Black people, but surely you have the political power. What are we doing with that political power? in 2004, the ANC had a 2/3 majority. What did they do with that political power?
Yeah, remember someone once said that there's a difference between being in office and being in power. There's a huge difference.
So you're saying that the ANC is in office, that they don't have power?
I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
Okay.
We must differentiate between the two.
Yeah.
Because if you are in office, you go with the flow. You don't change anything. You enjoy the perks. But if you are in power, anyone who's in power, when you get there, you want to make sure that things work for you. You don't inherit systems that are not necessarily going to give you power. And again, maybe the discussion that we should have is, what were the agreements at CODESA? Because sometimes you blame people, but only to find that the agreements are the ones that are tying them. Maybe part of the agreement was that you can't do this thing, you can't do this thing. So if those were the agreements, because remember, we didn't take power from white people.
Yeah.
It was a negotiated settlement. Hence, instead of freedom, we've got democracy. So I suspect probably some of the agreements, maybe the ones that make the ANC to be in office, not in power, because maybe the power is somewhere in those agreements that no one has
made.
It's possible, because if those agreements were saying, if you try any thing that was not agreed upon, we will take back the power through many other means. You'll never know, because remember, the white regime, for example, the defense force of the white regime was very powerful. So yeah, but I think unless we get to know what was agreed, we may blame the ANC only to find out we are blaming the wrong people. Yeah, we should be blaming the agreement. But that beside that point, if blacks, beside the agreement, if blacks were united, it could have been different. Yeah, but unfortunately, the very same capital may be playing a role in dividing the blacks. Yeah. Because, let's look at now at Black Business Council. You, as the Black Business Council, as the representative body of all black associations, black business associations in South Africa, you represent some powerful lobby group, isn't that so? And if maybe you can just break down for us the Black Business Council, who you represent, and in terms of capital, one could argue and say that, yes, over the past 31 years, we have now been able to build serious black capital. In other words, money or capital in the hands of black people. And the Black Business Council is a serious voice that represents that grouping. Surely, that is power that is now residing, is located in the hands of black people. The question is, for me, what is it that the Black Business Council is doing with that power? Yeah, remember maybe let me start with the how we are structured. So we are the mother body or the father body of black business and black associations. So we were the confederation, and then the other associations belong to us. Like, yes, those associations are members of the BBC, like BMF, Abasa, APSI, NAFCOC,
if they're still around.
Yeah, they're still around.
Okay.
Yeah, NAFCOC, Santaco.
Yes.
We can name them. Yeah. So we are a confederation of all of them. So it's very difficult to actually measure the economic contribution, because we're sitting here. Most of the members will then be sitting at different levels in those organizations. Even
if we cannot measure it, but seriously, if, for instance, if I look at the Seriti resources on their own, their market cap on the JSE is sitting at about 60 billion. I can mention the many others, black-owned companies that are currently listed on the JSE. So there is serious power that is sitting within black people currently as we speak. If you mention Santaco, for instance, they control the value chain of the taxi industry in South Africa and transportation, this is a multi-billion rand industry on its own.
Yeah.
That is power.
Yeah.
And therefore, the question again is, what is it that black people are then doing with that black capital power?
Again, without sounding defensive, there's a serious issue of unity amongst black people. I agree with you. There's been some progress in making sure that there are black billionaires and black millionaires, dollar millionaires. But again, and that's what we're trying to do as the BBC. We're trying to unite everyone.
Yes.
Around the vision, because once you are united, it becomes easy to approach anything. But unfortunately, as we speak now, the unity is a bit limited. So you can't necessarily then say, as black businesses, let's take our money and invest here. Let's take our money and invest it, because investment decisions are not necessarily made in a collective. Investment decisions, and I think maybe that's how capitalism is. Capitalism, the way it is, you make decisions as individuals. So it's more individualistic. So if ACRIT's got an issue, for example, they need to buy a company, they're not going to call a broad general meeting to say we're buying this company.
Yes.
Even if they want to retrench, they'll just retrench as themselves, because you get yourself and your own sustainability. But we need to find a way to say, how then do we utilize our buying power to change things? And again, for me, it's the issue of unity, because if black people are united enough, we can wake up tomorrow and say, we're not going to buy from this retailer. We're buying from this retailer because this is our retailer. We can easily collapse the other retailers. If we do the same thing with the banks, we can collapse the other banks, because we're the majority, so we'll have the buying power. But again, we are not united. The biggest problem for us,
let us look
in South Africa, is the lack of unity amongst black people.
There are examples of black unity in business.
Yes.
If you can just look at the formation of the African Bank, for instance, in 1975, by the late Dr. Sam Motsuenyane. Dr. Sam Motsuenyane went to all NAFCOC members at the time to raise 10 rand per NAFCOC member. Because the only thing he needed was just 1 million rand to start a black bank at the time. And he did it. He did it. He went to black families that were related to NAFCOC members. It took him, because 10 rand at the time was a lot of money, but it took him some time. But the fact of the matter today, we have a JSE-listed bank called African Bank by one man who had a vision of establishing a bank, and then he used black power, black collective power to start that bank.
But I think maybe context matter.
Yes.
Because even African Bank now is not owned by black people. So
we all know that. Yes.
I think context matters. So my suspicion is that democracy brought its own challenges. Pre-1994, black people were united. And were united behind one objective of ending apartheid. So it was relatively easier to organize black people against anything that they don't want. Post 1994, it became everyone for themselves. We have not achieved much through unity post 1994. Even political parties, you see, we've got so many political parties, again, because of lack of unity. And I suspect maybe that was brought by a democracy that we did not necessarily anticipate what is going to break. Because remember, even the politicians of pre-1994 were basically sacrificing their own lives by getting involved in politics. Fast forward to today, the politicians of today, they're involving themselves in politics so that they can eat. Not because they want to sacrifice anything for anyone. They're doing it for themselves. So even that unity that you're talking about of Dr. Mutonyani, you are likely not to find it today because democracy brought this thing of everyone for themselves. Everyone is looking after their own stuff.
Individualism versus collectivism.
Yeah, everyone is like, where can I benefit? And we've seen it even during, for example, during COVID, when people were dying. Instead of us being united to say we need to deal with this pandemic, people were stealing money for themselves. So this democracy brought with it, obviously, capitalism that is with us. Then it almost created people to be more individualistic than collective.
But the question still remains, how are Afrikaners are able to do it? Because starting in 1948, when the National Party took over power, we started seeing the advancement of Afrikaners.
Yeah.
There was the problem of the poor whites, which was addressed by using SOEs that were started at the time. They were employed, given preferential treatment by the government of the day. As you can see nowadays, the problem of poor whites is almost non-existent in South Africa.
Yeah.
And yet the problem of poor black people, it's so normal.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Yeah, it's everywhere, so prevalent, and nothing has been done about it. My point is, Afrikaners have been able to build businesses, address so many social ills that affect their people. Why are we not doing the same as black people?
Yeah. For me, again, the issue is the unity.
Is unity.
Afrikaners were united. They realized that the English are basically controlling everything. They united themselves and decided we are going to start our own things. And we're going to utilize the state to start our own things. Even now, as we're sitting now under democracy, they are more united than us.
Yes.
They built an African university within very few months. They've got their schools that they are protecting by all means because they are Afrikaners. They've got their own businesses. Anything that has got something to do with empowering black people, they fight it. They fight it legally.
Yeah.
They fight it by all means. But because they are united. If you look at the model of AfriForum, it's Afrikaners who are funding AfriForum by paying 200 rand,
membership
50 rand, 20 rand per month. Because they're united. They can do that because they're united.
But we have a similar model with the unions. We have COSATU, more than 1 million members. We have SAFTU and many others.
But remember unions are almost...
They are focusing on labor, yes.
Yeah, but they're almost compulsory. Because even if you're not a member of the union, you still have to pay that fee. But AfriForum, I'm not talking about Solidarity. Solidarity is a union. AfriForum. AfriForum is not a union. It's a voluntary association. But because white Afrikaners are very united, they've decided we're going to support this organization. We're going to oppose anything that has got anything to empower black people. And because they're united, as they say, in unity, you become strong. In unity, there's strength. Even if they are tiny in terms of the numbers. But because they are united, they're able to defeat almost 92% of the population. So for me, I think what we should be preaching by all means is to say black people be united. You have seen even now, after elections last year, because black parties can't even come together to say, let's form a black government. Again, for me, this thing goes back to unity. We need to find a way to say, how do we unite ourselves? How do we unite black people? Before you blame other races. Other races are just doing something natural that any other race that is united is supposed to do. Because the Jews are united, the Muslims are united,
yes,
the Afrikaners are united. It's only black people who are not united. So for me, that is where we're supposed to focus as a country to say, before we do anything else, how do we unite black people?
Okay, let's say hypothetically, we are united. There is now black capital. However little it is, what can we do to advance development, for black people in general, using the power base of black capital?
Remember,
If maybe
in business, you need two things.
Yes.
You need finance, you need the market.
Mm-hmm.
Because black people are 92% of the population. We are already the market. So even if you don't necessarily have that capital, if we decide to say from today, we're only going to buy from that shop, even if that shop is like a small business, in a year's time, that will be a huge business. Because we've got the market, we've got the buying power. But again, because we're not united, we're not using our buying power to our own advantages. Remember, there was an issue of Discam. Discam trying, one of the CEO of Discam, or one of the managers at Discam, I think it was the CEO who was the owner, who said, but I don't see black people in management positions. So from today, we're going to stop hiring white people.
Okay.
Hire black, so that until we get that proper diversity. What happened? The white shareholders decided, no, we're going to dump the shares of Discam. And they did, because they are united. Black people who are probably the majority of the customers of Discam. What did we do? Nothing. Because we're not united. But if we decided that day to say, it's fine, they can do whatever they do, we're going to stop buying from Discam. We'll have collapsed Discam.
Yes.
Because we've got the buying power for the majority. But again, all these people who are even against employment equity, broad-based black economic empowerment, they know why they are doing this thing. They are more emboldened because they know we're not united. Because we're divided, they know we're not going to do anything. We're just going to make noise. I'm sure you're a member of WhatsApp groups. Wake up, one WhatsApp group is like 1,000 messages. People are complaining. But where they're supposed to go and complain legally, like when a legislation is being made,
but surely,
they don't go and complain there.
On the issue, for instance, of Discam, there is the Public Investment Corporation, PIC.
Yeah.
They own roughly, on average, 15% of the entire JSE. Of all the listed shares on the JSE, PIC own on average between 10 to 15%. So they have a voice because they own those shares. So they can, in fact, when Brian Molefe was still the CEO of the PIC, he exercised that power he had of the fact that he controls roughly 10 to 15% of all the JSE listed shares.
Yes.
So are you maybe as BBC saying that we need to bring back that, such advocacy, from the likes of the PIC, the GEPF, the APSIPs of this world, rather than collecting sponsorship from corporate South Africa? We need to see more of them exercising their power and exercising their voice. Because, yes, there could be challenges of black unity, but there are pockets of black power. Why are we not using that?
Yeah. So you raise a very important issue of PIC. The last time PIC was utilizing its muscle was when Thabo Mbeki was the president, and when a Brian Molefe was the CEO. That was the only and the last time. And it stopped. So
was that the golden era of our democracy, if you like?
Yeah, from a black economic empowerment point of view, that was it. Because if you look at anyone who's a billionaire currently, who's black,
was made
you can trace
during that era.
Yeah, you can trace them to that era.
So Zuma didn't make any billionaires.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think so. If you look at the sustainable billionaires,
not
were started, were made during the Thabo Mbeki era. But coming back to the PIC issue, so you are basically assuming that PIC understands power.
No.
Which may not.
I'm saying
be true because
Brian Molefe, when he was CEO, he understood his power.
He did. But you
now we have an opportunity.
Currency,
we have an opportunity now. There's going to be a new PIC CEO.
He's already started.
Yes, exactly.
He's already started.
So there's a window of opportunity for us, maybe to go back to that golden era.
I agree.
What is the BBC?
Yeah, I fully agree. Yeah, the CEO has started. I'm going to be meeting with him. I think this month, later this month, to raise the similar issues because as we speak now, PIC does not even have directors who are representing it in these investing companies. So you may find even at Discom, you may find that there's no PIC board member there. So how are they going to exercise their powers if they're not even in the board? So we need to then come to say to the PIC, make sure that as a start, wherever you have a stake, like all the other companies do, the coronations and others, wherever they've got a stake, they'll have a director. So the PIC must start there to say, let's look at all these companies where we've put money in. Let's check how many directors we're basically supposed to have. Let's start by appointing pro-transformation people to be on the board as a start. Because once those people are in there, they should be able then to put pressure on those companies to transform.
Okay.
But it's important to put pro-transformation people. Because if you're going to put people who are going to be happy that they are receiving board fees, they're not going to do anything. They're going to get there and look at the self-preservation. And they'll never raise any contentious issues because they want to be popular. So the PIC needs to choose, select very, very, very carefully the type of person who goes and represent the PIC.
Or send them there with an agenda. Because you can't help matters of self-preservation. People have to send kids to these expensive, private schools, the likes of Michael House and so forth and so on. They want to go to these expensive, overseas holiday trips.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, self-preservation, it's very natural to people. It comes naturally. Unless you give them a very clear mandate and an agenda, which comes from the PIC, which is the biggest, asset manager in the country. Any lessons maybe you can draw from the past where black capital has been used to advance the development of a people or society? You can quote, could be around the world or even in South Africa, as we approach the end of this discussion.
It's very interesting because remember, black people have never necessarily had any capital, significant capital. But if you look at the past, even pre 1994, there have been black people who made money under very difficult circumstances. Buntate Maponya, you spoke about Mutweni.
Yes.
Who then were able to utilize their
Mashaba
money.
of Action. Yes.
Yeah, of Action SA, the Habaguk, Shikwane, and all those other people who then, through their capital, they were able to educate other people's kids with their own money. So they were able to then to say, our kids are fine, but we're operating in a community environment.
Yes.
Let's utilize this to develop and sponsor these people. So we've got people who are successful today, mainly because they were able to be sponsored by black business people.
And the possibilities of that type of advancement of black people, as you say that they are 90% of the population. What are the chances of them succeeding in advancing their agenda in the context of the GNU? where the likes of the DA are doing what they are doing, and many other forces, literally, they've come up out of the woodwork to defend the status quo.
Yeah. So for me, I don't think, and again, our focus should not be on other people. If you want to change, I think Michael Jackson said, look at the person on the mirror. You must first do a serious introspection before you blame other people. Because I can tell you, in these 5 years of the GNU, the DA is not going to be able to implement their own policies. Because they don't have the majority in parliament. So if they introduce the 6-point plans you're talking about, those will just end up there as 6-point plans of the DA. They will never translate to 6-point plans of the government. Because to get into government, you must get everyone to agree. And then everyone in the 400 MPs must agree with you and pass a legislation. I don't think that is going to happen. But again, for me, I would like to emphasize that unless we are united, we're going to make all this type of noise without making an impact. We should learn from the Afrikaners, few as they are. They are very impactful.
Yes.
Very, very impactful.
Yeah, that one is true.
But the impact only comes from unity. You've seen they've been to America and then we jump around and insult them. But what did we do ourselves? Did we go to America as black people? Forget government.
Yes.
For us as black people, what did you do? Complaining,
so
WhatsApp groups,
as BBC, you did not go to the US to rally the Congress in the US, or any of our friends who are friends of the struggle there. You did not go to the US.
No,
Black Business Council.
We didn't go.
Why not? Why you didn't go?
No, we've engaged them. We've engaged them. Even now, we're busy engaging them. But because we don't. We were supposed to go to the United States when the ambassador was recalled. Because you need, as a South African like us, you'll need the proper channels to get to
yes.
But now we don't have an ambassador. When you go, you're going to have informal meetings. We wanted to have proper formal meetings with the Congress, people who are
with the support of our ambassador.
Yeah, because that person is supposed to facilitate those meetings. But we were like, I think the trip was cancelled almost like a week before it was supposed to happen, because the ambassador got recalled. You need those type of formal setting up of meetings for you to go. Otherwise, we're just going to go. But the Afrikaners, because they are united, they are able to do certain things that are necessary, that unfortunately we can't. So again, let's make sure that we are united as black people.
Thank you very much. Any concluding thoughts? If you look at for instance, the next couple of years of the GNU, what needs to happen going forward in terms of advancing the economic transformation agenda, in terms of making sure that we protect the gains over the past 31 years? Maybe you can just, share with us your concluding thoughts on that.
I think the GNU may just be a good thing on other matters, like we've seen non-corruption, because you are not going to be able to hide corruption like it happened before. So it's not doom and gloom as far as the GNU is concerned. But again, for me, as black people, black business, let's stop focusing on other people. Let's focusing on ourselves. Play our own game. We'll be able to win if we are united.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
That's a good note to end it. There you have it, my people, followers of this podcast, the length and breadth of South Africa. Mr. Matabane is calling for black unity, black business unity, in order for us to fight this battle, to protect our gains for the past 31 years in this democracy, to protect black economic empowerment, as well as to protect black business in general. Thank you. Cheers until I see you the next time. Bye-bye.